like this, 'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out loud goodbye.
This gonna be the type of night they make.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Mr. Von. Mr. Von Channel Sweatbox. We back, we live, we active here on the channel. Yes, indeed. You know how we do. Still dodging those digital jabs, baby. Yes, indeed. All right, look, let's talk Halo Episode 6, Solace. This series just keeps getting better and better. So after the phenomenal episode that was Episode 5, I mean, that was hands down across the board everybody's favorite episode. Even for the people that have been super critical of this show, for just reasons. I'm looking at you, Quan. Episode 5 hit the mark. Episode 6, did it hit the mark? Yes, it did. There was no action, but it didn't matter because the story was awesome. It starts off with the team recovering from the ass whooping they got on Aridnis 2. They all coming back to Reach, bringing back the dead. Everybody's, you know what I'm saying, disheveled because they lost the artifact. Chief is apologizing. Keyes, Captain Admiral Keyes is like, hey man, you saved like 150 people, bro. It's all right. We'll get the artifact back. We'll be all right. Whole time he's over there looking at. Whole time Master Chief's over there looking at Halsey like I'm gonna choke the life out you, bitch. The minute I get, I'm gonna choke the life out you, you little lion, kidnapping, child stealing, blankety blank. You know what I'm saying? He was in his feelings. So then they get back to Reach, and Chief notices ain't nobody really paying attention. Halsey goes into her little laboratory. This nigga locks the door. Boom, seals her in there, and it's like, I'm about to murder you. Yeah. The contamination system doesn't work right. It's about to hit you with a lethal dose of radiation. You about to die. What you gonna do? Cortana's like, Chief, you can't do this, man. You gotta let her out, bro. You really need to save her. And Chief's like, why don't you save her? Make me. Why don't you do it? Since you can control me. Cortana's like, I can't control you. I can just shut you down. You're gonna let her die? And so after a little deliberation with Cortana, he lets her out. He was like, hey, I just wanted to test the limits of your AI, see what it could do. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Chief was cold with it. And that was the intro of the show. He said, I ain't gonna be able to save you from what's coming next. So as you remember at the end of Episode 5, the Covenant dropped off their little spy Maquis. You know what I'm saying? And she wants to meet with Chief. She's trying to persuade Chief to let her see the artifact. And then they start to talk. And she's telling Chief, you're like me. We can both, you know what I'm saying? She said, the artifacts make you sick. Chief's like, what's going on? So he's a little hesitant. He obviously doesn't trust her. When he's going into the room, one of the Marines is standing guard. He said, give her hell, Chief. Don't trust these squid heads. They don't like humans. And I'm like, she's one of them. He's like, she's one of them. He's not lying. This nigga know. So he goes in there. Like I said, he goes in there to question her. Doesn't really go as he plans. Then we see the scene of Halsey where they tell so Parangoski and Keyes meet with like the civilian lead, and they're like, man, 2 Spartans failed to protect the artifact. They malfunctioned. We might have to disband your little program and put the Spartans in the UNSC program effective immediately. We might have to do that. They're not doing it yet, but they might have to. Parangoski's like, look, somebody got to take the fall for this. I know who it's going to be. So she basically says Halsey's taking the fall for it. Then she goes to Halsey and tells her, Halsey, you're taking the fall for this. I'm going to give you your own lab off the books. You can go work for it, but you can't work with the Spartans. You can't work with Cortana. You done, son. It's a wrap. Then they come take her away. You know what I'm saying? It was, woo. Yeah. Halsey got what she deserved. She's a terrible person. Just to be clear, she's a terrible person. Which puts Miranda in charge of all Halsey's stuff. So Miranda's in charge of all Halsey's stuff now. And so she goes in there and she goes in Halsey's lab and she's like, yeah, baby, I didn't hit the lottery. I done got all the good stuff that I've been wanting. Shouts out to Miranda Keyes. I like her character development. The whole time Chief is still stressing like he don't know what's going on. He's having all these issues. Everybody's like, Chief, you really need to get yourself in the med bay. Cortana's like, get yourself in the med bay. Him and Chief get into Chief and Cortana get into this big argument where he's like, look, I need you to just get away from me. She's like, what you want me to do? Go solve problems in the galaxy. And so then she just is gone. I don't know how that works because she's implanted in his head. Maybe she's just giving him some space, I guess. I don't know. Then there's the scene, even before, I don't remember, I think there's the whole scene of when the dude is the like the military interrogator is questioning Halsey. All right, and Parangosky and Jacob Keys have these little things on where they can be in the room and see what's going on, but like holograms, but invisible holograms. It's weird. It was weird. It was kind of cool, but it was super weird. Miranda comes in. She puts one on, and she's in there. So now Miranda, Jacob, and Parangosky are all watching in the questioning of Halsey by the military interrogator. Then Chief comes into the room, and he's like, "I need the room." And so I was like, "All right, just don't kill me, bro. I'm out." So he leaves the room, and he's just like, "We got to stop this." But Paragosky's like, "No, let's see where this goes." So Chief questions, and you know, Halsey's gonna see, well, what can Halsey do? So she tells him the truth. She's like, "Yeah, we kidnapped you, replaced you with clones. I was just trying to do what's best for humanity," although she's kind of lying, you know what I'm saying? You know Halsey's the ultimate manipulator. So this was a really good scene. I was really liking this scene. It was just really good. You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards, when Miranda sees Chief in the hallway, she's like, "I'm sorry, Chief." She was like, "What are you talking about? How do you know what's going on?" You just said, because he didn't know. You just said, but anyway, that scene was really good. I was really into that scene. Now, after that, we get another scene of him going to talk to Maquis. Maquis can see that he's sick, and she's like, "It's the artifact. It got me too." She said, "You got to let it go. You just got to give into it." And she tries again to take me to it. Let me see it. So again, Chief's like, "No, that's not happening. That's not happening." So finally, Chief goes to touch the artifact woman. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, real quick. I forgot about the whole Kai storyline. Kai's whole storyline. They get her where they're trying to recover. She's in pain from like the battle, so they're giving all like these pain meds. They're not hurting, so they finally get her sedated, and she's in recovery. And then later, after Chief had talked to Halsey, and Halsey told him the truth about everything, he goes and tells Kai everything, and she's like, "Whoa." And he's like, "You can't tell Vanek and Riz. You can't tell the rest of the guys. You can't tell them that. We will tell them, but not yet." And then she's like, "Chief, are you?" She's like, she's like, "John, are you okay?" And it's very obvious and blatant that they make a point to notice that yes, she calls him John instead of Chief. He said that, and then Chief tells her, "Hey, get better, Kai. I'm gonna need you." So it's good to see that he's you know what I'm saying? It's good. I like it. I like this side of Chief. So then he gets after he has that talk with Maquis, he's just determined to figure out what's up with his connection to the artifact. So at this point, Halsey has been completely locked out. Okay, she goes to when Miranda goes to the office, she tries to access the files, and there's this message that comes up says, "See me" from Halsey. Miranda goes to see Halsey. They have this extremely emotional heart-to-heart where Halsey just admits she's been a terrible mother, and she just doesn't understand and get the concept of family. She's never really been able to do it. And she was legitimately pouring her heart out to Miranda. You know what I'm saying? And Miranda's like, okay. She's taken back by it. And then when you find out how manipulative Halsey is, because when she leaves, she's like, "Did you get it?" She's like, "I think so." She takes out the little contact lens that has the little retinal thing. So she got all of Miranda's information. So now she's back in the system. First thing she does, she contacts Cortana. Cortana comes back, and this is right about the time when Miranda and Chief are about to go test the artifact again for like another time. This time, Chief was like, "I'm not letting go." And meanwhile, while this is happening, Maquis is still being held captive, and because she had given the UNSC some fake info about where they could find the Covenant. They didn't work. They don't trust her, so they're still not letting her near the thing. They give her some food, and she's like, "I need to see Chief." They're like, "No, eat your food." So she starts wilding out, and she tries to attack one of the dudes, and she brings out her little finger sword, but nobody sees it because the minute she does that, Chief touches the artifact, and then she passes out. All right, and Chief goes through this whole thing of where he's just, you know what I'm saying, his levels, his heart rate's rising, everybody thinks he's gonna die. Cortana's like, "You gotta let me shut him down." And Halsey's like, "No, I want to see what happens." She's like, "He's gonna die. I don't care. I want to see what happens." And Cortana looks at him like, "Oh, you're evil too." So I think Cortana's slowly starting to recognize Halsey can't be trusted. Chief already understands Halsey can't be trusted. So I think that dynamic is gonna build to the trust in between Cortana and Chief in that relationship that we all want to see from the gang. And then the episode ends with the money shot. As Chief's vitals start to peak. Boom, he has a flash. He's having flashbacks of all of these different memories. You know what I'm saying? Spartan training, dead Spartans, and then boom, he's on a place. You look around, and immediately when I saw the ground, I was like, oh, that's Halo. They're on Halo. And you look around, and you see Maquis, and then as you pan around, you see the first shot of Halo, and it's just like the game. It was dope. I give them their props. When they do it right, they do it right. You can see the ring, and it was very dope. It was very, very dope. And then the episode ends with him touching and I thought they were gonna. I'm glad they didn't do it. I thought they were gonna do it with some like romantic thing where him and Maquis kiss. They didn't. They teased it like they were going to. I hope they don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do the Maquis Chief storyline love. Don't do the love story. Don't do it. But yeah. So then the episode ends with him waking up, and Miranda Keyes like, we thought we lost you there, Chief. Where'd you go? And then that's the end of the episode. But we got the first shot of Halo, baby, and it was epic. So this episode was very nice. No Quan in this episode, but unfortunately, I saw the previews for next week for episode 7, I think it is. Episode 7, and it looks like it's going to be a full Quan episode. Oh, I hope not, but we'll see. I'm going to watch it just in case. I was reading the comments on one, someone was like, we got to wait 2 weeks for the next new episode. It was funny, man. Just do the Quan character better. Soren, great character. You got to do better with Quan. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. We all know I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that. We've all expressed our dissatisfaction with the Quan storyline. So anyway, until next week, make sure you keep it locked. Like, share, and subscribe. Click those notifications so you know when I upload. Check out the travel vlogs, man. And until next time, you know how we do.
I'ma go to the ends with you. I'ma go to the end with you. I'ma go